Have you ever felt like the voice in your head just will not shut up? Like your brain is always racing with thoughts, and when you're stressed, it's even worse. Heck, even when things are going well, you start thinking to yourself, okay, how long is this gonna last before things start going downhill again? And when things are going bad, the voice in your head beats you up worse than ever before. A lot of high achievers try to control this voice in their brain by doing affirmations, different types of self-talk, meditating, using breathing techniques, and I'm gonna tell you why these techniques don't work long-term. I'm gonna tell you real life stories about how some of my clients, ranging from the UFC to the NFL to the MLB, all the way into the boardroom, were able to get rid of the invasive thoughts in their head so they could just enjoy what they're doing in the present moment. See, it wasn't until my clients started to go beneath the conscious surface of their mind and target the subconscious programs that they finally started to clear their mind and have peace so they could have their best performances. The first story I want to share with you is about a college football player preparing for the NFL draft. This voice was constantly criticizing him when he was doing his training leading up to the combine, and it was making him perform worse, and then when training got over, he was beating himself up afterwards. When we dug deeper into his subconscious mind, what we uncovered was that he was believing that he was only getting this opportunity because he was big, but he actually believed he wasn't athletic enough and he actually wasn't good enough to get into the NFL. So what we did is the opposite of what people usually do. We had him accept all these beliefs. Yeah, you're not good enough. You're not gonna get into the NFL. You're not athletic enough. And through this acceptance, eventually he got to this place where he just didn't care anymore. All the energy was just released and he was able to just surrender that old story into the past. And since we're using energy and it can't be created nor destroyed, we took that old energy and we reclaimed it. And we changed it to him believing that he's more than athletic enough and he's more than talented enough to play in the NFL. After going through this reprogramming, he started to truly enjoy his training, he started performing better, and he put on his best performance at the combine, giving himself the best shot at getting picked high in the NFL draft. Another story is about a former UFC fighter who became a business owner and started opening up his own gyms. He started criticizing himself for everything he was doing as he started to learn how to be a business owner, even though the evidence actually said that he was doing well. Regardless, he believed that the next decision he was gonna make was gonna be the wrong one. So he was feeling anxiety because he was constantly worried about the future. When we took him through the same process of just accepting, okay, fine, maybe I don't have all the competency about being a business owner yet, and maybe I don't have all the answers in the future, he was able to just relax, find peace, and actually gain a lot more trust for himself in making business decisions moving forward. And what we did was we reframed the belief to actually have him believe that he's made great decisions and he knows exactly what he's doing going forward. And by doing this, he's not just giving himself some positive self-talk. By ingraining that belief, he's going to do whatever it takes to make the best decisions moving forward. I have another story about this guy from Major League Baseball who had so much paranoia because he had people from his past telling him they were going to expose him for embarrassing things that had happened. So he was believing that when he got exposed, he would lose his career in Major League Baseball. And this was keeping him in a constant state of anxiety. What I had him do was actually accept his way all the way through being exposed. Imagining, yeah, it all gets out there. As embarrassing as it might be, it's out there. You didn't actually do anything illegal or that wrong. It might be embarrassing, but you've been exposed. And having him really go through this process of accepting that reality as a possibility, he was able to release the energy. And what do? We just changed the belief to, even if I get exposed for what happened in the past, I'm gonna be able to keep playing the game that I love. So I have countless stories about both men and women in all different walks of life who have this voice in their head that just won't shut up because they're feeling fear in their body that forces them into overthinking, because the body thinks that if I start thinking enough, I'm gonna be able to avoid this bad thing that I don't want to have happen. The only solution that I've found long-term is to go into the subconscious and rewrite those programs. That is the only way to have long-term peace and presence. So this isn't some secret. I literally wrote a book on this stuff. I'm going to give you the exact process right now and how you could do this in your own life. There are 4 stages of learning, and the first step is to identify what stage you're in right now. The first one is unconscious incompetence, which you probably wouldn't be watching this video if you were at this stage, because it means that you aren't even aware that there's a problem, so you're not gonna try to fix it. The next stage is conscious incompetence. A lot of you might be in this phase, which is essentially, you know that you have these invasive thoughts in your head, you know they're holding you back, you know you wanna get rid of them, you just don't know how yet. The next stage is conscious competence, where you've identified the source of those invasive thoughts that are driving your brain insane, and you're actually working towards removing them. And finally, the stage where I want to get all of you and where I try to move all my clients to is unconscious competence, where you've gotten to a place where you've already rewritten the subconscious code, so you don't have to give yourself affirmations or reminders. You are automatically programmed to succeed, and so you're automatically peaceful and present. So if you're in conscious incompetence, meaning you know there's a problem but you don't know how to fix it yet, you need to start to build awareness about your feelings, because through your feelings is where you're actually going to uncover where the subconscious blocks are. A great exercise that will help you with this is to set alarms on your phone to go off every 3 hours while you're awake, just asking you, how does it feel to be me right now? Every time the alarm goes off, write this down. It's gonna build the awareness of how it feels to be you, and that's the gateway to getting the deeper wisdom to help you change. Now, as you build more of this awareness, you can take the next step, which is gonna move you into conscious competence, and that is going to be closing your eyes, feeling the emotion, going into the emotion, and asking yourself, what am I believing to be true in this moment that's making me feel this way? The answer to this question is the belief that's creating your overthinking. So this is obviously a process. You're not gonna get it all done super fast. As my sensei likes to say, it's not fast food, but if you start to commit to this process, you're going to start to make progress. So if you have gotten to this conscious competence phase where you've uncovered the beliefs you're holding to be true that are creating this negative thought dialogue in your head, you can actually identify these beliefs, accept them so you can release the energy around them, surrender them into the past, and then choose a new belief that's gonna help you alchemize that same energy. So I'm going to use an example of someone who has a lot of anxiety about a test coming up, right? So they might uncover that they believe they're not prepared for the test, and so they're feeling super anxious and worried about it. The opposite belief would be, I believe I'm more than prepared enough for this test. That brings them into a state of peace and presence, and if they are not actually prepared enough, it's going to put some subconscious pressure within them to actually do what it takes to be prepared. Another belief might be, I believe I didn't study enough. And sometimes we know that even if we did study enough, we might still hold this belief and feel anxious. So the opposite belief is, I studied more than enough. So as you can see, when you flip the belief, you put yourself in a more empowering state. You're able to be in the present moment. And in the present moment, you don't have these invasive thoughts that are messing with your head. So I'm gonna give you the final step here to move into unconscious competence. Once you have uncovered all the new beliefs that you wanna have and hold, you're gonna record them into a voice memo. So just like iPhones have voice memo apps, record a voice memo, reading all the beliefs. And then I want you to listen to that recording every morning when you're waking up, every night before you fall asleep. You're gonna do it at those times because that's when your brainwave state shifts into a slower state and allows for more thoughts and beliefs to be incepted. So you can listen to this belief recording for however long it takes. It could take days, weeks, or months. However long it takes for you to believe all those new things to be true is how long you should be listening to it. And once you believe all those things to be true, you've officially programmed yourself to succeed. Boom, that is a surefire way that I have found to help myself and my clients overcome these invasive thoughts, the overthinking that drives your brain insane. So go ahead and give this process a shot, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments if you try this out and you get some results. Thanks again for watching. My name is Brandon Epstein, and I'll catch you in the next video.